What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Got another one coming for you on the trailer. So just to recap what we did last time, we cut these plates off of the frame to get the axle out from under it and cut the piece that was holding the differential straight. So just taking a look at it, today the plan is to get these guys off on each side and to take a look at the inside of the diff and just kind of see how it was built and look at what's still in there. And you know, I'm just really interested to get into this and see what it's like. So I originally thought that we might be able to reuse the leaf spring mounts, which are these. Just originally looking at them, I thought, oh, okay, you know, that'd be really cool if we could just cut this top piece off and salvage these. But then I just started looking at it more, and they still have the old U-bolts that they cut off. But they did weld this piece to the bracket itself. And I'm not sure if they put, it looks like they probably put this plate in here, maybe, and then just welded it straight. And then realized that they still had the U-bolts in there, so they just had to cut them off. So I was really hoping to reuse these, but that looks like that's not going to be the case. One, because these are on different angles. The two are. I don't know if looking down it, if I can get a light on it, if you can see. No. But they are on different angles, so that wouldn't work. And we wouldn't be able to get the U-bolts back over these. So I'm just going to have to try to cut them off. I think they're just welded on each side. So I'm just going to have to try to cut them off and hopefully not get into the axle housing too much. But that's the plan for now. I'm going to tackle those and hopefully get those off easy. All right, let's get to it. Alright, so after cutting this with the cutoff wheel, I'm not really happy with it, so I'm going to try the grinding disc here and see what we can do there. So I feel like I've had much better success with the grinding wheel, getting down to it. And I mean, I know I still can't really see it, and I'd like to not destroy this, but it may come down to that. So I'm going to try and grab the cutoff wheel and try to get at this joint a little bit more. I'm not sure how successful that's going to be, but I'm going to give it a shot and just, you know, try to save this as much as possible, because I may try to do something with it in the future. Alright guys, so I think I've come to the conclusion that there's no way that I can really save this mount. Just trying to cut it off there. I mean, you can see it's already tore up already. And I want to try not to get into the axle, which I am a little bit down here. You can't see that on camera, but I'm getting into it just because of the angle of the grinder. So that is unfortunate. I was really hoping to try to save it, but cutting into it pretty bad. And just out of respect for time, I mean, it's going to take forever to just try to cut it off. And apologize for the noise if you hear it. It's just started raining pretty hard outside, but I'm just going to work on trying to cut off and keep this intact as much as possible. So just try to get an angle down behind it and get that free. So I'm going to cut to the time lapse and work on that. Alrighty guys, well we're making progress here. So I got this side cut off, and then what I did, because you can't really reach this side of it, just because the whole hub and everything's in the way, I took and took with the cutoff wheel and cut off the end of the bolt, because it was so rusted that I couldn't get it undone with a wrench. So I just cut it off and then pulled it out. And then now what I'm doing is there's still a little bit of weld in here. So now I'm just going to take the hammer and I'm just going to try to, oh, well, dang. That was easy. I didn't expect it to come off that well, but there we go. So this right here is the old leaf spring seat, and it's pretty neat. So again, it's unfortunate we couldn't save this, and it looks like they just welded this plate in here. But now that we have this out, and I don't know what, I just like being crafty and just trying to use and make different things out of, old parts and whatever I have. So I'm going to try to use this for something in the future. I don't know what, but stick around for that, as I don't know what'll happen. So here's the old U-bolt. So now that we have this cut off, we can just chop this off, around the edge, and not worry too much about, getting it down really close to the bottom. So just kind of bring it up a little bit, make it an easy cut to get through, just so we can get this main piece off of it, and then we can grind down on the axle housing itself and make that smooth. So now I'm just going to work on cutting this whole thing off. So progress update here. That was a lot of cutting. You can see that. I got it all destroyed. Got this front bit cut off. And then on this side, I ended up being able to go up the middle part here and then over the back. Just cut it straight off. So that made it easy. Now I got it loose. There we go. So there's that. So now with that big old piece out of the way, it'll be easy for us just to come in here on this side and just take this out. This is probably good. I'll just take the grinder from this point, or the grinding wheel, and smooth that out. So I'm going to clean this up and then head over and do the same thing on this other side. So it wasn't too bad, and this one should actually be easier to get to, just because we have the weld on the outside here. Let's see. So just because this weld's closer, I should be able to go in and cut that, and then just cut straight across it to possibly cut both of these tab ends off, as well as free the seat up. So I'm going to clean this side up right here, and then I'll work on this. And here it is. This left side all cleaned up. So it looks pretty good. There are a few spots like right there. And then this whole line. I'm not sure if I got that with a grinder or what that's from, but I'll take the welder and fill that in and grind it back down smooth, just so we don't have any kind of cracks or anything going on right there. But I'll get that straightened out. But before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and tackle this left side, or the right side, and get this whole thing off. And then I will pick you guys back up when I have this off. Whew, all right. Got both sides done. So this is nice and smooth. Got one little bit in there that I might want to fill up, but otherwise it's looking really good. And I do notice on here that there is a little flat spot where that U-bolt's supposed to go. So that's pretty interesting how it's made. That they put in, you know, the little indentation there for it so it'll fit. And then now, what I've been looking forward to is pulling this off. I know don't need to pull it off, but you know what? I want to see what's in here. So now that we got this done, I'm going to pull this apart, take these bolts out, and take a look and see what's inside there. I'm looking forward to it. All right, I got all the nuts off. Let's try to pull this apart and see what it looks like. There we go. You'd think this has been on here for 80 years or something. Alright, we couldn't get this front bit off. It was hung up. I guess the pinion's hung up in the ring gear and all that, so we couldn't get it off, so we're gonna try the next best thing. Last one coming off here. And there we go. Doesn't look like much has changed in the last 70, 80 years. Looks pretty standard, don't it? Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure what our hang-up was here. I think this right here is one piece. This piece right here. I think it slides in so these caps hold it to the axles, I think. That's what it kind of looks like anyways. So here, spinning this end. Yeah, that drum still on it. But yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Those teeth don't look worn. I think this is good for another 200,000 miles.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see that nothing's really changed over the years. I mean, little by little, but it's the same idea. So that's pretty cool. Well, guys, so now that we've had a good look at this, And I think it's just really cool that it's basically the same design as nowadays. So it's just pretty neat to see. You know, this is something I was looking forward to, really looking forward to seeing, and just seeing how it was put together. And we couldn't get the front off because they welded where the pinion goes, welded that shut. And so that part, this part of the case right here is attached, you know, to these bearing, or to the caps. So we'd had to take the caps off to pull that front part out. But other than that, man, it's really cool. I know this is probably going to be a little bit shorter video, and, you know, not quite as interesting as the other ones, but, you know, stick around for what's coming. It's going to get really interesting once we start kind of cleaning things up, and then really when the body panels start coming into play and we start fixing those, it's going to get exciting. So I'm just going to wrap this up, put this back together for the night, and call it a night. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. Like the video, and leave me a comment if you're enjoying this series and looking forward to more. So thanks for watching. We'll see you.